The scream of sirens pierced the night as I raced through the rain-slicked streets of New York. My heart pounded in sync with my footfalls, each step taking me closer to the hospital and to her. How did we end up here? Just yesterday we had love, we had hope, we had everything, but now I might lose her forever, all because of my foolish pride. You might wonder how love could lead to such a desperate midnight run. Let me take you back to where it all began, to where it all fell apart. It was a crisp autumn evening in Central Park when I first saw her. The setting sun painted the sky in hues of gold, but nothing could outshine her smile. She was sketching the Bow Bridge, her hand moving with graceful precision. I was mesmerized. In that moment, I knew my life would never be the same. We fell in love with the reckless abandon of two souls who believed they were invincible. New York became the canvas for our love story. We danced in empty museums after hours, shared secret whispers atop skyscrapers, and found eternity in each other's eyes as we rode the Staten Island ferry at sunset. For 3 blissful years, we were inseparable. She was my anchor in the chaotic sea of city life, my North Star in the concrete jungle. Her laughter was my favorite melody, her touch my greatest comfort. We were living a dream, and I never wanted to wake up. But dreams, like all things, must end. It was on our anniversary that she broached the subject of our future. Her eyes sparkled with hope as she spoke of marriage, of building a life together beyond the transient nature of our current existence. And I froze. Why can't we just stay like this? I pleaded, fear gripping my heart. Why do we need to change what's already perfect? The light in her eyes dimmed, replaced by a sadness I had never seen before. Because love grows, darling, she whispered. It either grows or it dies. I couldn't see it then, blinded by my own insecurities, but that was the moment I began to lose her. Days turned into weeks into months, and the distance between us grew. The once comfortable silences became heavy with unspoken words and unfulfilled promises. Then came that fateful night. I returned home to find her suitcases packed, her eyes red from crying. I can't do this anymore, she said, her voice barely above a whisper. I can't keep loving someone who's afraid to love me back completely. I wanted to scream, to beg, to promise her the world, but the words caught in my throat, choked by the very fear that was tearing us apart. And so I watched her walk away, taking my heart and my future with her. The days that followed were a blur of grief and regret. New York, once our playground, became a labyrinth of memories I couldn't escape. Every street corner, every cafe, every park bench screamed her name. The city that had witnessed our love now mocked my solitude. Weeks passed, and I finally gathered the courage to call her, to apologize, to beg for another chance. But when I dialed her number, it wasn't her voice I heard. It was her sister's, choked with tears. There's been an accident, she sobbed. There's a drunk driver, and she's in critical condition. And so here I am, running through the city we once called ours, praying to a God I'm not sure I believe in. I burst through the hospital doors, my clothes drenched, my lungs burning. The nurse points me to the ICU, and I see her family huddled outside a room, their faces etched with grief. Her sister looks up, her eyes meeting mine. The sorrow in her gaze turns to anger. You, she spits out. She was coming to see you, to give you one last chance. The world stops spinning. My legs give way and I collapse against the wall. Through the window, I can see her lying there, so still, so pale, surrounded by beeping machines. The doctor emerges, his face grim. I'm sorry, he says softly. We did everything we could. In that moment, I realized the cruel irony of my fate. In fearing the commitment of forever, I've sentenced myself to an eternity of regret. As her family weeps around me, as the machines fall silent, I'm left with the devastating knowledge that my fear didn't just cost me my love, it cost her life. The city stretches out beyond the hospital windows, vast and indifferent, a constant reminder of the love I let slip through my fingers and the terrible price of my hesitation.